right, so we got some news, we got some new movies. Now, Wade, we had this great recommendation for a film last week. Home. It is time to try this at home. Now, we had told everybody last week to go rent
Tell No One.
Tell No One. Now, that's a risky one. What?
Yeah.
What the? Now, that's a risky one because, you know, that's one of those movies where if you rent it and you don't like it, we look bad.
Oh, we will catch flack for it, absolutely.
But I'm saying it's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
So if someone doesn't like it,
it's a great thriller.
F them.
Yeah, it's a great thriller. Even if you are one of these people who thinks, well, there's foreign films and American films and thrillers or commercial American films, this is a great thriller, regardless of language.
You know what?
It's a great film.
And that brings up a bigger point, and we'll talk about Tell No One in a second, that for some reason American audiences think that if a movie's foreign, it can't be, like, exciting.
And this is really exciting and intriguing. It's an edge-of-your-seat thriller.
Like we talked about North Face, the German mountain climbing film.
Yeah.
That thing is insane. That is just as exciting as any American mountain climbing film. Cliffhanger, all that crap.
Yeah.
All right. So, did people watch Tell No One in the audience? People like it?
Yeah.
They dug it?
Yes.
It's good, isn't it?
Yep. All right, Producer Mike, do we have people Skyping, Facebooking, tweeting, IMing about Tell No One, how much they loved it? We're down for an hour. Okay.
Corey, anybody?
No.
See, it's because it's so good.
See, you guys pick the foreign film.
It's
wait, no, Martha S.
Oh, here we go.
Martha!
All right.
Hold on. Martha, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Martha.
So, Martha, you watched Tell No One.
Yeah, I actually saw it when it came out in theaters. So for this week, I just rewatched the last half hour.
Just to put all the pieces together.
Yeah, because my main complaint with the movie, I don't love it as much as you guys. I think it's a really solid thriller for the first hour, and then in the second hour, I think it really starts to fall apart.
In the second hour, it gets purposely, may I say, convoluted.
On purpose, yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Martha.
Sorry, I think any movie where there's one scene where a character gives all the exposition that the film has been lacking, I think that's the problem. I think that one scene where the father of the wife tells everything that has occurred up until that point.
It is kind of like that Columbo moment, a little bit. But for some reason, the acting is so good in the film, overall, I didn't mind it here.
I didn't really mind. I totally understand what she's saying. And
no, I do. It's what all those television shows always do. And Columbo always had that moment, except he was the one that told them how they did it, and then they confessed. And you get that a little bit on Law and Order as well. They usually get somebody on the stand, and if the attorney yells at them loud enough, they crack and they go, "Yes, I did it."
Yeah,
and then they tell you the whole thing.
The problem is that Columbo was like Blue's Clues compared to like Tell No One, which needs a scene where you sort of explain a little bit what's going on.
But it's great acting, but it's true. It's a legitimate complaint, but I think the acting is good enough that it carries you over it.
I agree. Martha, so now this week you're going to go watch Defendor, right? Spend your $10.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll watch whatever you guys recommend, but not Avatar. Not Avatar.
Look at that, huh? All right, Martha, thank you very much. Martha, everyone, let's give her a hand. Martha, look at that. Any more comments from the virtual or real peanut gallery?
Wait, call back in.
Oliver, call back in.
Here, Mike Pooposter is calling in. You're on. Mike, you there?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
We can.
Mike!
Super. Hey.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah, so I enjoyed the movie. I got the show muted, so I believe that was my mistake last time. But anyway, I liked the movie, Tell No One. I thought it was a really good thriller. I kind of agree with that. It got a little loose in the end, but it all wrapped up. It wasn't too complicated because I can't handle too much complexity. My only problem in movies is I tend to forget the names, so by the end I was like, okay, who's that again? And it turned out to be the lead character. So, yeah. But it was a good show, and I also try to go rent any of the movies that get recommended to us.
Cool.
So you now are you generally a fan of foreign films, French films? Is that something that you like?
It's not something that I regularly go for, but when I get the hankering for it, then I can really enjoy it. So I would say my tastes are like 75% English movies and 25% foreign films. But this had really good dubbing, and so that made it a little easier to just sort of sit and watch without too much reading.
And you can sort of speak to what Wade and I were just saying, which is if you're not used to foreign thrillers, you have to kind of look at a movie like Tell No One and sort of say, hey man, this isn't some weird Euro thrill. It's in like a different filmic language. It's like a real thriller. You really get into it.
Yeah,
You know?
it was, and they didn't make it too complicated. The police officer, they kept us in the dark about what the main detective was really thinking. So I thought that was an effective thing, and I liked it. I thought it was a very good recommendation.
All right, Mike Puposteris, thank you very much. Don't forget Defendor. You will like it. If you like the films that you say you like, Defendor, check it out.
Thank you.
We got one more. Yassine Ahmed.
Yay!
He's one of your regulars.
Yassine! Oh, a podcast. By the way, Wade and I have a Disney podcast called Digigods.
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm calling here from Denmark.
Hey.
Wow.
Yes, well, our podcast fans come from all over.
Oh, dude, you are a diehard. Thank you.
In 2 hours.
Wow.
School in 2 hours. All right. Then please share with us.
So what did you think of Tell No One?
We're losing Denmark.
Uh-oh.
Denmark, are you there? Hello. Hello, Denmark.
Oh, darn it.
Wait, I think we still have you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just coming in and out. So keep trying and we'll see what we can do.
Something's rotten in Denmark.
I think we lost you, Yassine.
Yassine, I think we lost you. But man, do we appreciate you calling in.
That was a Shakespeare reference.
Yeah,
Did no one get that?
Oh, gee.
Everyone got it.
Good
Nobody
grief.
got that. No, okay.
Yes.
All right, so that is Tell No One.
Mhm.
Now, that was last week's homework.
This week,
This week's
totally
homework-
different deal.
Totally different deal.
Totally
Wade,
different.
announce to the world their homework.
We are going back to a film that is highly underrated and somewhat forgotten, but this harkens back to what I think is one of the great comedies and sort of comedy dramas of the 80s. Paul Mazursky's Moscow on the Hudson, starring Robin Williams. Yes.
Now, Moscow on the Hudson was one of Robin Williams' first dramatic roles.
One of his first dramatic roles, and it's sort of comedic dramatic. You know, he plays a Russian circus performer who, and this is during the Cold War, mind you. This is before the Soviet Union fell apart. A Russian circus performer who defects while in the United States. And Paul Mazursky, one of my all-time favorite filmmakers, just still alive, still working, still out there, contributing in a great way. And this is one of his better films, I think. It's a really, really good film.
Now, Mazursky is one of those filmmakers who...
Former actor, going back to that. Yep.
Which means that he's good with actors.
Good with actors.
He was very big in the 70s and in the 80s.
And in the 60s.
And the
I mean,
60s.
Bob and Carol
Bob
and Ted and Alice was sort of the big one. And An Unmarried Woman
With Jill
from
Clayburgh.
1977, which was one of the big films that was up that year against Star Wars and Annie Hall. Yeah.
And Harry and Tonto, also terrific with
Beautiful.
Art Carney.
Won Art Carney an Oscar.
But Mazursky's sort of like fallen off a little bit, but recently. He's almost
Well,
like... he's almost
post
like...
The Pickle.
Post the Pickle with Danny Aiello, which is terrible.
Yeah.
He's sort of like Peter Bogdanovich, where these guys who really should be working, like if Scorsese can work at 67, some of these older
Paul
guys can
Mazursky
work.
made Tempest, which is probably one of my favorite films of all time. But we're talking about Moscow on the Hudson, which it hits that beautiful sweet spot. It's commercial, but it's artistic at the same time, really well written. So that's our pick this week.
So watch that this week, Moscow on the Hudson, which by the way is downloadable.
Try this at home.
It's downloadable, or you can rent it, Moscow on the Hudson.
Moscow on the Hudson.
Check back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time and tell us what you think of Moscow on the Hudson. It's Robin Williams before he became evil. Because he's not funny anymore, but he was funny back then.